Hello everyone and welcome to the session of Voice of Small Business. We have a very special guest with us today, Uguen, all the way from Bhutan, the beautiful country. So thank you so much for being with us. I know that you have an organic agro business. Would you like to tell us more about it?
Kuzambo. It is a privilege and an honor for me to be able to participate in the COP27. My profound gratitude to the International Trade Center and the UNFCCC for the opportunity, probably once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm immensely grateful. Thank you so very much. Yes, I come from Bhutan, a least developed country. And for those of you who do not know where Bhutan is, it is located in the nestled in the falls of Eastern Himalayas, sandwiched between the two giants, China in the north, India in the south, east and west. And the land is characterized by high mountains and deep valleys. It is an landlocked and isolated country actually. And yes, Bhutan is also the first carbon negative country in the world.
Yes.
My name is Uguen. I'm the shareholder of a small company called Bhutan. I'm also the CEO. Bhutan was started in 2005 with financial support in the form of soft loan from COP, Switzerland, based in Switzerland, and the Habitat, that is a Swiss development organization. And with their fund, we were able to establish Bhutan. And the primary mandate when we started the Bhutan was to introduce the organic label. And Bhutan is, I'm happy to inform you, this is the first enterprise in the country that introduced not only the organic certificate, but also practice sustainable production for the production of natural and organic certified products. And we are also the first company, actually the first entity in the country that has introduced the organic certification in the country. And now I'm happy to inform you that there are, at this very moment, there is a certification inspector from the IMO control in Bhutan. And they are doing inspection from 1st November to 14th November. And my colleague is fully engaged with that, and there are now 5 companies. And we are actually coordinating all this organic certification. And all our raw materials are actually, whether it's cultivated, the agro product, or we also use non-wood forest products which are collected from the community managed forests. And they all come from the local communities, and especially in the far-flung rural settings in Bhutan. And in terms of non-forest product, they actually come from not from the, we say wild, but it's actually not wild. It's from the community managed forest group, and also the non-wood forest managed group, medicinal plant group. So it's all come from the forest that is actually managed by the communities, yes. Mm-hmm.
No, that's wonderful. Like earlier when we were discussing, you were also telling us about how your company, even though it has pioneered the work in organic certification, how you're also utilizing that information and disseminating it within the community, and also being sort of the influencer in terms of the other businesses. So could you tell us about that, and also highlight the engagement that you have with the International Trade Center, and how has that been beneficial to you?
When we started the business, one of our core principles is to actually, is our bottom line. Yes, every business has to make a profit, but profit is not only our bottom line. So from the very beginning, we consider the environment and the care for people very important. And because of this, if you look at the business scenario in Bhutan, and if you look at that, for example, now this access and benefit sharing mechanism, Bhutan is the only private business entity in the country that has embedded the Bhutan access and benefit sharing into our business model. Through this model, what we do is we actually access the genetic resources from our communities, our partner, and then we develop a product. After selling the product, 9% of the profit we are actually plowing back to the communities.
Right.
So it's not just we are just telling like that, because we have the documented, the agreement, and we also involve the National Biodiversity Center, who is the authorized and competent authority in the country, and they are actually in between, because they are the competent authorities when it comes to access and benefit sharing, when it comes to accessing the genetic resources. And from very beginning, we have been working with the communities. For example, our first product is lemongrass.
Right.
And lemongrass, we have not only distilled the lemongrass and selling the lemongrass pure oil, but also we have developed other products from the lemongrass. And for that, lemongrass comes from the eastern area, and the people in the eastern area, especially in that part of the world, in the country, are very vulnerable and economically bad.
Right.
And because of that, the EU standard organic certificate and the Swiss ordinance certificate is for the lemongrass.
Correct.
And after introducing the certificate, we managed to export our product in the niche market in Europe, and we get a premium price. And from that, we are able to pay to our farmers.
Of course.
And last time when we had a meeting with our farmers, and we are very happy to hear that they said before the Bhutan came into the picture, there are difficulties in sending their children to school, and they even pointed to the house. And now their house has a zinc sheet, and they do not have to cut the trees to make shinglets. So we can already see the impact.
Yeah.
And with the ITC, I think that we are one of the primary beneficiaries from the SMEs in Bhutan.
Right.
And the ITC project that really helped us in developing the food safety management system in the place, because with that, with the help of the project, we developed the standard operating procedures and the prerequisite programs, and also the HACCP. We prepared for obtaining the HACCP certificate, and these are actually the mechanism which also helps in reducing the carbon footprint.
Right.
For example, if you look at the prerequisite program and the SOPs, and there's a waste management, how do we manage the waste, and how efficiently we should source the raw materials. So, and with this system now in place, we also build the in-house capacity.
Right.
And with that now, for us, it's very easy to, we are actually working towards obtaining the food safety management certificate, and we already got from the BAFRA food safety certificate from our local regulatory authority. So that actually not only help us in establishing our credibility,
Right.
but also in finding an export market, because before we had the difficulties in exporting, especially certain products in the niche market,
Right.
because we do not fulfill the regulatory mechanism. And now with this system in place, it actually really helps us in promoting and accessing the market, especially in countries like EU,
Right.
Japan, where the standards are quite high.
Right. So I see that you're focusing a lot, or rather you're highlighting the importance of the need for capacity building in Bhutan, and especially in small businesses. So my question to you would be, since we are here at COP27 today, and we are discussing what would be the contribution of small businesses to climate action, in climate adaptation or mitigation, what are certain challenges you think that small businesses face, and what will your message be?
For Bhutan, we are the first business entity that actually is practicing the sustainability into our business mechanism.
Right.
So if you look at it, maybe we do not have the certificate and tools to show
Right.
that we are implementing the sustainable business practices. But if you look at it, for example, like this, we developed the sustainable collection method when it comes to the wild collection, and we provide training to the farmers. and then all our raw materials, which are collected from the wild, it comes from the community managed forest group, and they are actually registered with the competent authorities, and they have the management plan, they have the bylaws, and they have they identify the species, and also the annual harvest limit of the species, how much we can harvest. Based on this, the issuance of permit is actually regulated. And for our part, we also have like instead of before we used actually PET bottles, but now we have gradually phase out the PET bottle, and we use glass bottle for example. And for the distillation unit, because we are into the most of our products, we started with the essential oil, and during the intervening time we have diversified our product. We produce a lot of essential oils. So one of the key problems when it comes to carbon emission is in the area where they do the distillation, they have the mobile distillation unit, and that is actually operated by firewood. So what we did is we actually procured, although expensive, and for a small business like us, we have now the distillation unit, state-of-the-art distillation unit, which is actually operated by the electricity. And you know, Bhutan has a clean, with the energy is all from the hydropower. So this is actually in Thimphu. We have now the distillation unit which is operated by the fire, not electricity. And eventually we wanted to bring such distillation unit in the eastern area where we distill the lemongrass. So eventually we actually wanted to phase out all the distillation units that use firewood. So these are actually the interventions that we have already incorporated into our business model.
I think maybe in conclusion, I would just like to ask you, what would your message as a small business owner from Bhutan be in terms of climate action?
For a small business in Bhutan, and especially in the context of Bhutan, we can actually do a lot. And we actually wanted to like the organic certificate. Now we are very happy to see there are a lot of businesses coming out following our footsteps. And we are also the first enterprise who has implemented and embedded the Bhutan access and benefit sharing system into our business model. And we are hopeful that other businesses will follow suit. And now we aspire to become an inclusive and green business model in the country. And with that, we hope to spur our partners, the local communities, to engage in the sustainable business practices, and also inspire and influence other businesses to follow, to adopt what we are doing. And in order to do that, what we need, and especially coming from the least developed country, where the access to finance is very difficult, where we do not have the technology and the technical know-how. So the support in the area of technical know-how, the technological transfer, and the finance, if that is there, and what we dream to achieve, I think that is tenable.
Right. That's an excellent message. Thank you so much again for being with us, and all the best for the future, and have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And once again, I would like to thank the ITC for all your support, Karinchi, and thank you so much.